Story of Pope Francis inviting Donald Trump to the Vatican, and the heated debate that followed has captured the world's attention. This extraordinary meeting between two of the most influential figures of their time, one a spiritual leader representing millions of Catholics worldwide, and the other a businessman turned politician known for his controversial leadership style, represents a clash of ideologies, priorities, and personalities. As the events unfolded, the meeting transcended its initial purpose, leaving a lasting impression on observers from all walks of life. The meeting reportedly began with civility and mutual respect, both men understanding the symbolic significance of their encounter. Pope Francis, known for his humility and focus on social justice, welcomed Trump to the Vatican with an open mind. Trump, accustomed to commanding boardrooms and political rallies, approached the conversation with his trademark confidence. Despite their differences, the initial exchange centered around shared goals, such as promoting global peace and addressing challenges like poverty and inequality. However, as the conversation delved deeper, their ideological disparities became increasingly apparent. Pope Francis has consistently emphasized themes like compassion for the marginalized, climate change, and the moral responsibilities of global leaders. Trump, on the other hand, has often prioritized economic growth, national sovereignty, and a strength-first approach to international relations. It was these differing worldviews that sparked a heated exchange, one that resonated far beyond the confines of the Vatican walls. Climate change was among the first contentious topics discussed. Pope Francis, an advocate for environmental stewardship, referenced his encyclical Laudato Si, which calls for urgent action to combat climate change and protect the planet. He expressed concerns about the impact of environmental degradation on vulnerable communities, urging global leaders to prioritize sustainability over short-term economic gains. Trump, however, maintained his stance that economic development and energy independence should not be sacrificed for environmental policies that he viewed as restrictive. He cited his administration's withdrawal from the Paris Agreement as evidence of his commitment to protecting American jobs and industries. The exchange reportedly grew tense as both men defended their positions. Pope Francis appealed to the moral imperative of caring for God's creation, emphasizing the interconnectedness of humanity and nature. Trump countered by highlighting the importance of balancing environmental concerns with economic realities, stressing the sovereignty of nations to determine their own paths. While the conversation did not yield a consensus, it underscored the deep divide between their approaches to one of the most pressing global issues. Immigration was another flashpoint in their debate. Pope Francis has consistently advocated for compassion and support for migrants and refugees, urging governments to welcome those fleeing persecution, poverty, and conflict. He framed immigration as a humanitarian issue, calling for policies rooted in empathy and solidarity. Trump, whose administration implemented strict immigration measures, defended his policies as necessary for national security and economic stability. He argued that a nation must prioritize its citizens and enforce its borders to ensure order and safety. Third debate over immigration highlighted a fundamental difference in philosophy. Pope Francis emphasized the universal dignity of every human being, regardless of nationality or legal status, while Trump focused on the responsibilities of governments to their constituents. Their exchange reflected broader societal tensions, with each leader representing opposing perspectives in a global conversation about migration and identity. Despite the heated nature of their debate, moments of mutual understanding emerged. Both leaders acknowledged the importance of fostering peace and addressing global crises such as poverty, conflict, and disease. They agreed on the need for collaborative efforts to combat human trafficking and promote religious freedom worldwide. These areas of agreement provided a glimmer of hope that, despite their differences, they could find common ground on issues of shared concern. The global reaction to the meeting was as polarized as the figures themselves. Supporters of Pope Francis praised his unwavering commitment to moral principles and his willingness to engage with a controversial figure like Trump. Critics, however, questioned whether the meeting gave undue legitimacy to Trump's policies. Similarly, Trump's supporters lauded his willingness to defend his positions in the face of moral scrutiny, while his detractors criticized his perceived lack of humility and compromise. The media played a significant role in shaping public perception of the event. Headlines and commentary reflected the ideological divides that characterized both the meeting and the global audience. For some, the debate symbolized the enduring tension between faith and politics, morality and pragmatism, and unity and division. For others, it was an opportunity to reflect on the challenges of leadership in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. As the dust settled, the meeting left an indelible mark on the global stage. It demonstrated the power of dialogue, even when agreement seems impossible, and highlighted the importance of engaging with differing perspectives. While Pope Francis and Trump may not have resolved their differences, their exchange underscored the value of confronting difficult issues and seeking understanding, even in the face of profound disagreement. For Pope Francis, the encounter reaffirmed his role as a moral compass, challenging leaders to prioritize compassion, justice, and the common good. For Trump, it was a reminder of the scrutiny and expectations that come with wielding political power, and an opportunity to articulate his vision in a forum of immense symbolic significance. Ultimately, the meeting between Pope Francis and Trump was more than a debate between two leaders. It was a reflection of the broader struggles and aspirations of humanity. It invited the world to consider the values that should guide our collective future and the importance of bridging divides in pursuit of a more just and compassionate world. This encounter underscores the importance of dialogue in a world increasingly polarized by ideology and partisanship. The ability to engage in meaningful discussions, even with those whose perspectives differ radically, is a cornerstone of effective leadership and global progress. Pope Francis and Trump, despite representing vastly different constituencies and priorities, exemplified the potential for dialogue to illuminate issues from multiple angles. Their meeting was a reminder that understanding does not necessarily equate to agreement, but can still lay the groundwork for mutual respect and collaboration. Such exchanges challenge entrenched positions and create space for innovative solutions to emerge, even if incremental. Moreover, the meeting highlighted the complexity of global leadership in the modern era. Leaders today must navigate a maze of competing interests, cultural sensitivities, and moral imperatives while addressing crises that affect millions. The heated nature of their debate reflected the weight of these responsibilities, as well as the profound differences in how they interpret them. Yet it also showcased the possibility of addressing these challenges through the lens of shared humanity. By exploring themes like climate change, immigration, and global peace, Pope Francis and Trump invited the world to grapple with these issues in ways that transcend individual agendas and align with the greater good. Ultimately, the exchange left an enduring lesson. Progress is not achieved in isolation, but through the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths and reconcile conflicting priorities. It underscored the importance of moral leadership, where principles like compassion, justice, and solidarity guide decision-making. For the millions who followed their meeting, it was a reminder that even in a deeply divided world, dialogue remains a powerful tool for fostering understanding and inspiring hope. While their debate may not have yielded immediate resolutions, it ignited conversations across the globe about the values that should underpin our collective future and the enduring quest for a more unified and compassionate world.